Are you tired of reading sensational news items on government contracts? You know, the propaganda type of I don't know what the bank has given some billions to some road projects. You know what I'm talking about. Are you in need of in-depth analysis of how engineering has influenced Kenya, or rather revolutionized humanity? And of course, you've heard about the Malaysias, the Singapores, the tattoo cities. Do you want to know the story behind the tragedies, collapsed buildings, or know the mightier power in those Kawasaki engines? Or passionate about technology and innovation, the iWatch thing, the Akina CGR, the Storos, how can railway be standard and have gauges? Or are you looking for tenders, engineering jobs, suppliers? Then join the Kenya engineering community. Get a copy by dialing 0719 207712 or join the Kenya Engineer online community www.kenyaengineer.co.ke. Awesome. Brought to you by Kenya Engineer, Kenya Maritime Authority, and Bamburi Cement. Awesome. Everything around you has been engineered.
This documentary is the hard work of very many people, and it is very, very timely. Today, to be here today, he drops everything and comes here. And that is the call that we should make to all senior engineers to identify with the engineering fraternity.
Look at the effects of engineering. If you're going to look at floods, then you're going to look at it as an engineering term in nature. That means water, we are making good use of water for the benefit of humanity.
The maritime domain, the maritime industry very much regulates the economy. It's a key driver of the economy.
Lack of awareness. Members of the public do not know of the role of the engineer, and also many members of the public do not see maybe the benefit of engaging a professional when carrying out their projects. And this has led to many project disasters, including collapsed buildings. We have issues to do with roads getting damaged within a very short time after they are commissioned. We have other accidents that have not only brought damage but also have killed Kenyans.
As of August 2014, about 43% of Kenyans are living below the poverty line. A kind of living characterized by lack of basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing. With this sort of life, access to medical care, water, and reliable sources of energy is a dream for many.
People not only getting access to water, but also getting quality water and reliable water.
To have affordable products for people who have a low income, but who want, and they are fully right, who want a decent house.
43% may seem like a large number, not until you compare it to the previous statistics, which had placed over half of Kenyans living in poverty.
We cannot afford anymore to take things lightly. We must work very hard and very focused to ensure that this water is provided to the people of Kenya as a right. The right is not as simple as it looks. The right has to do with availability of that resource, and that is why we work hard on developing the dams and the various infrastructure. And also it has to do with affordability. So we do not just simply lay pipes all over the place. We want to make sure that the water that is delivered through the infrastructure is affordable, available, accessible, and is of very high quality.
Today, Kenya boasts of being a middle-income country, an indication that Kenya's economy has improved and subsequently Kenyans are living better lives.
If you look at motor vehicles, they use fuel on a day-to-day basis. We don't produce fuel at the moment, and that fuel comes by sea. How efficiently we handle the transportation and logistics issues around the import of fuel into Kenya affects the pump price of that fuel and consequently the prices of the end users of commercial commodities in the shops.
Thanks to numerous engineering projects ranging from agricultural, technology, transport infrastructure, energy sector, today Kenya boasts of being a middle-income country, an indication that Kenya's economy has improved and subsequently Kenyans are living better lives.
As a nation of economic development, social development, one of the key aspects and key considerations that we have to have is a structure, framework, capacities to enhance overall productivity within our businesses, within the private sector. This in turn would generate more employment, more value processing for our existing natural resources, and also have capacities for us to research on better ways in which we can economically grow more efficiently as a nation. And I think that we have to consider where we are and where we've come from over the last 50 years.
With many of the solutions given being more humanitarian, the engineer thought of something else.
Engineers actually, I would say, have a lot of work in the present Kenya and the world in general. Because engineering is not a walk in the park. You have to be dedicated. You have to be a hard-working guy. You have to be ready for the challenges. Because in the night, actually, you have to be in contact with the plant.
Using a consulting engineer, and the value that we bring is professional, giving professional input in the development of any infrastructure in this country. That means right from the design, all the way through the tendering stage, the award stage, and more importantly, the supervision of construction work on site. And these days we are also looking further during what we call the defects liability period, which is normally either 6 months or 1 year. during which you check whether the infrastructure is functioning as it should, and if it is not, then you take the necessary measures to get the concerned parties, for example the contractors, to carry out the necessary repair of defects. We have many projects going on in our country, and these projects are currently being undertaken by both local and foreign consultants. A case in point is the standard gauge rail, where we have a contract for supervision of the work, which is a partnership between an international and local firms.
Devolution should be able to build on where we are. The devolved system, the devolved government, that's the county government, should be able to work very closely with the national government to build on the success stories that are already there. We should not be entangled in terms of conflicts between county and national. We are serving the same Kenyans, we are serving the same consumers. So let us build on the success so that we can be able to achieve much better.
Stay safe as you visit Kenya's magnificent beaches. Holidays can be short, don't make life that short. Kenya Maritime Authority ensures your safety in the Kenyan waters. Are you playing your part? Wear your life jacket before going on board. Keep a close watch on children when swimming. Do not stand. Refuse to board a full boat. Stay away from the waters if you're drinking alcohol. Holidays are fun, but don't make it this the last time you enjoy. Kenya Maritime Authority ensures your safety in water. Our call and rescue center is open 24 hours. In case of emergencies, call.
Build them a house that years can't touch. Build them a home that makes them feel safe and loved. Build them a house that lives up to your dreams. When you build a home, build it with Nguvu Cement from Bamburi. That is reliable and trusted to build durable structures. Because homes are built to last forever.
ASEC is an organization for consulting engineers in Kenya. In Kenya, we have two levels of registration of engineers by the Engineers Board of Kenya. You have the professional engineer, and then after working for some time, you have the registration of a consulting engineer.
As an engineer, there is a lot of room for improvement. We have to continuously improve with the sole purpose of reducing the cost of production. I wouldn't say that sitting here I am saying we can't do anything anymore about the efficiency of the process. We're still working on improving on those efficiencies by looking at better machines and better equipment that can assist us reduce the cost of production.
We also assist engineers by creating forums for networking, both at a national level and also international level. Promote engineers in as far as giving them opportunities for capacity building.
The engineer wants sustainable solutions. These sustainable solutions do not come easy. A lot of skills, intelligence, and time are put into the design and implementation of the mechanisms. When the port of Mombasa exceeded its capacity and was marred with delays and inconveniences, renovations were done to try and handle the amount of imports coming in. This was not enough. There was clearly a need for construction of another port, the Lamu port.
You've seen a lot of engineering, creativity and imaginations coming up to support transportation by ships. Ships have grown in leaps and bounds. We used to have in fact, in the category of ships, we have the first generation, second generation, now the sixth generation. And there's many that can carry as many as 18,000 containers. You know, the port that we have, when it reaches 15,000, we begin to worry about congestion. But if it happens to reach 18,000, then it means there is nowhere to store the container. But you find such vessels, they move from one port to another out of the engineering, the prowess of the human imaginations that come from the engineers that have been able to design vessels.
But it did not just end there. The idea of the Lapset corridor was born, and with it comes a bigger port, 3 times the size of the current Mombasa port. Oil pipeline, oil refinery, airports, highway, and railway. In 2014, the Lapset project kicked off.
When it was started, Lapset, we didn't have oil. We had not discovered oil. We were doing it for Sudan and Ethiopia. And lo and behold, it's our project. Lapset, with all the oil in Turkana, now serves Kenya.
All this will increase interconnectivity and trade within Kenya and with neighboring countries. Engineers have to work day and night to ensure the designs are implemented as proposed in the Lapset project. In agriculture, increased produce means increased food security. Agriculture accounts for 60% of export incomes. Unfortunately, statistics indicate that half of the population is food insecure. the solution is not really food. The engineers were thinking of a country that can feed its own people and have a surplus to sell to the world. A country that utilizes its best resources for the good of its economy. The engineer saw the need to ensure appropriate technology is implemented to increase yields throughout the country. The answer was mechanization of agriculture. Mechanization of agriculture has not only made large-scale farming easier and less time-consuming, it has also increased food supply in the country and as a result contributed to our economic growth.
To maintain this and to tell Kenyans with a loud voice, this is the way to go. We embrace technology.
Although Kenya is classified as a chronic water-scarce country, the engineers will not lose hope in ensuring Kenyans have access not only to water, but ensure that the water is clean and safe for the people. Construction of storage dams and increased irrigation has also seen increased supply of water for both domestic and commercial users. Investment on water purification and sanitation technologies have not only supply of clean water but also boosted water quantity through recycling. Clearly, we need more of these engineers, and that is why the learning institutions have ensured that every year competent engineers are released into the job market to join others in the quest for a developed Kenya.
And that is why we have a strong technical base here in the institution where we want to impart those skills to the students.
Engineering courses have moved from broad courses to specific courses, focusing on different spectrums of engineering. So together the computer engineer, the water engineer, the civil engineer, the electric engineer, and all other engineers come together to design and implement various technologies to drive development.
Kenyan educational institutions are able to deliver on maritime training right here at home, instead of people having to go abroad to get the same qualifications. Somebody with that kind of discipline will understand whether a ship is safe to operate, whether a ship is being safely operated. We are now going into offshore exploration and mining with good prospects.
Awesome will follow the engineers to highlight their specific roles for every single development in this nation. We will follow the people to see how the developments have impacted on their daily lives, and we will follow the experts who will inform you on how the engineering has impacted on the nation as a whole. It's all about learning the thinking, the designing, and the implementation of these technological advances. And through this, the engineer has changed the world.